5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's happening, y'all? This is HDYLM podcast, better known as How Do You Love Me? And today we are talking about mental breakdowns in marriage, out of marriage, in life. Coming up.
All right, so let's actually do How Full Is Your Cup this week, Trey?
Yeah, because we had some people who said, hey, what happened to How Full Is Your Cup? And look, we're back at it. So how full is your cup? My cup it's pretty full, man. Probably about 96. I'm at 96%.
Okay.
The Lakers won. They are, let me put it like this. Most people know me, know I'm a LeBron James fan. LeBron James is going to the NBA Finals. And so we're excited right now. They just finished that out. Cowboys, on the other hand, they still working. They just lost. And so we are 1-2. Not as excited about them as I am about LeBron James. So it is what it is. Outside of sports, I'm still happy, y'all. Just had to throw that in there.
I feel like sports is on every night.
Yeah, it's close because like right now, this year has been crazy because right now, every single sport is on. So like if you want to watch tennis, it's on. Soccer, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, all of it is on right now. So, I mean, if you're a sports lover, it's a dream right now.
But for us ladies,
hey,
it's taking up too much. Too much time.
No, not at all.
Every night.
For like an hour or two.
Like the prime hour of watching TV. Like, I mean,
that's what DVR and stuff is for.
We don't have cable.
I'm just saying, like, you can go back and watch it. This is for all y'all. Like, if it's some women out there, it's like, this prime time hour, you got DVR now. Just record it.
It ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't watch regular TV. I watch Netflix, Hulu, Pluto. I watch the stuff that you can just
even furthermore solidifies it.
But
so
the
now,
thing is, you want to watch it in the room where I am.
Yeah, but look, now, if all you watching is Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime, you can watch those shows anytime.
I know,
the sport is on live.
Let me tell y'all why it's a problem.
It's live.
Okay, it's not that I don't want him watching TV. Let me tell you about how full my cup is. All right, so at this moment, my cup is probably about 90% full. Okay, I'm doing all right. Okay, but these games and stuff. Okay, let me back up a little bit. So y'all know I quit my job at the hospital, so no more working weekends at the hospital. But being a first year teacher is hard. Okay, they tell people that, but it doesn't matter how cute you make your classroom, how much you prepare. There's so much that goes into it, and there's always going to be stuff you just don't know that you need. Like there's a process that every single school and team does, and you just won't know it all until it's time, because most people don't think to tell the new person, hey, we need this color folders, and they have to have it. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it's just like the little stuff. So I'm having to play catch up, whereas all these other people on my team already have the supplies ready to go. They just have to get it out. Whereas I have to go get it or tell the parents to get it, label it, get all the stuff ready on top of all the other COVID stuff that's going on. So today I finally feel like I am getting in control of all of the stuff that needs to be done. So I've been getting home at 6 or 7 o'clock. Like I just got home like an hour ago from being at the school, even though it's a Sunday. But I want to do this so that like later on in the year, I can get home at like 4:30.
Yeah.
So anyways, so the problem, to jump back into it, the problem that I have with sports being on right now is that when I get home, I want to watch some TV shows. And right now my TV show is Sister Sister, and the other one is Suits. That's on Amazon Prime. Well, when I get home, I just want to cut that on and be doing my work. Like, have the TV on in the background, I can still kind of giggle and feel like I'm at home relaxing. But as soon, as it gets going and, I'm getting into a groove, here comes Trey with the remote, changing it to the game.
Well, y'all, I want y'all to know this is first time news to me. So, by the way, the sports that I actually watch are on every other day.
It don't feel like that. I feel like every day. And it's not a big problem. But if I knew that it was on, then I would just take my stuff to the living room like I am right now. Because then, I need it to be going so that I can, I don't know, it helps me work.
Yeah, but if I knew that, nights that, by the way, y'all, is not on every night. So how she feels, it's not necessarily what's happening. And here's how I can tell you that. When I'm watching these shows with her, like the Sister or Suits, whatever it is, if I ask her, hey, what happened? Oh, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I didn't say I was actually watching it. I said it's on in the background.
So again, if I would have known these were little things,
it's not a bad thing. It's just I need that going instead of hearing you. Oh yeah, LeBron.
If you're not listening anyway, that's why I put it on. I'm like, oh, she's not even listening.
That distracts me, having to hear that.
All right, y'all. Tell me if I'm wrong. Then cool, but
I ain't saying any wrong. I'm just saying. It's just a little, I'm coming home. I want to relax. I've been on my feet all day, and I just want to cut this on in the background. But again, the quick fix of that is I could just go be in the living room and have the TV on in there. It's not a big deal. It's just that I didn't realize. Okay, y'all, I've been closed in for the past, I don't know, maybe a month. I didn't realize sports was coming on heavy like this.
Well, y'all. Not every day. Just want to let y'all know again.
You said it wasn't.
Yeah, you
feels that way. That's what I said. I didn't say it was every day.
That is too
Anyway, so again, my cup is on 95%. And
so it went up 5%. That's what's up.
Oh, did I say 95?
You said 90.
My bad. 90. I guess I pulled out your number. I'm on 90.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with
I'm getting closer, man, y'all. I'm waiting on another 3 or 4 day weekend so I can just recharge because my body is programmed right now to wake up at 4 a.m. no matter what I do. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just be an early bird because I go to bed at what time?
It just depends.
Just depends, but no later than what?
No later than 9.
Yeah. I'm in the bed by 9.
Because sometimes she wakes up and it could be 9:45. What time is it? I'm like, 9:45. No, it's not. And then go right back to sleep. And wake up 20 minutes later. What time is it? 10:10. No, it's not.
I don't even remember any of these. Yeah, and then the conversation he told me, what did I say last night?
Her teacher came out last night. So last night y'all know how commercials, they make the commercials way louder than the actual TV show to grab your attention if you're not paying attention. So last night, whatever I was watching, I don't remember, but the commercials came on and it was loud. She woke up and kind of turned over and gave me one of these. Shh. I'm like, I am not a student and neither is the TV. But then when I looked over, she was I knew she wasn't awake. There's no way she was awake. She just gave me a quick shh and then turned over and went right back to sleep.
Yeah.
I was like, she must have thought that was her classroom.
It's funny. It never goes off. And what's even funnier is back in the spring when I was student teaching, I used to do the same thing.
Yeah.
The only difference was it was 3. It was like shh, shh, shh.
Oh, yeah.
Now I done graduated to shh, just 1.
Teacher mode now.
Just 1.
Oh, you got to do it once. They respect her. That's funny.
Well, yeah, I only got to do it once because then one of my kids is always like, Miss Scott is waiting. So that'll get them real quick. Help. Oh yeah, because they want to hear what I gotta say. Because I be telling them if you want to do the fun stuff, we gotta get through the work.
Yeah, that's good motivation.
Yeah, so
I like it.
Anyways, that's how full our cup is this week. Sorry, y'all, we skipped it. What was that? 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah, we won't do that again. I promise.
Yeah, sorry. All right, so Now we are going to transition into our topic for today. And as Trey said at the beginning, this is about mental breakdown.
Yeah. So pretty much I'm going to read this little spillage here of the heart, and then we'll talk about it a little bit, and then we'll get out of here. So pretty much this is coming from the wife. And so the wife says, she says, if it matters, I'm 27 and her husband is 28. She said her husband had a couple of stressful days on work on Thursday and Friday, and it affected him a lot. Mm-hmm. He works from home, and on Friday, as soon as he was done working, he went to sleep for 3 hours and wanted to spend the night alone. He was being very negative, and that wasn't a big deal for her. But she said the next day he seemed to perk up a bit. He was playing video games most of the day. And then during the evening, they spent some time together and his mood just crashed. She said he started acting very negative and critical, complaining about everything. And he ended up leaving the house to go for a drive. All right. She said he called her 2 hours later and said he was at the store and he didn't need anything. Or did she need anything? She said he was buying some clippers to shave his head. Sounded really weird. I said I didn't want him to do it. He told me to get away and hung up. All right. He came back in the house and soon after, but he didn't speak to her. He just walked by her and said, "Don't talk to me." And he locked himself in the office. And so so she left him alone the rest of that night. So she woke up this morning is what it says, and he wasn't in the house. She texted him, asked him where he was, and his response was full of typos, like he was drunk or something, but he wouldn't say where he was. The only thing that would come back was he felt when he felt like it. That's when he texts back, and that safety isn't her concern. And so he was turning his phone off now. Now, let's get back down here. She says they didn't fight about anything except...
No, she said she has no idea where he is now, and he never does this kind of thing.
Yeah. Finish it off.
She said, we didn't fight about anything except, I guess, me telling him I didn't want him to shave his head. I have no idea why he's so angry, and I don't know what to do now. He has been suicidal in the past, but not for a long time. But I am still worried. Should I just wait for him to come back? What should I do if he does come back? Now,
she actually sent another message with an update, which was great. Before we can make this here, it says, "Thank you for the concern. I have found my husband. I was going to call the police, but before I did, I had the hunch that he went to go hide out at my parents' house since they're away on vacation this week, and he took their spare keys with him when he left. He was there. He wouldn't speak to me except to confirm that he is there, but he doesn't seem to be in danger. He sounded like he had been sleeping, and that was pretty much all she had. And so, pretty much it looked like work got the best of him so much that he, lashed out on his wife and then made some pretty rational decisions. Irrational, rather. Is it rational? Irrational.
Irrational.
Yeah. So what do you think about that?
A lot of things. First thing, so he had hard days at work. I really do wonder what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like we all have hard days, but like going to this extreme, I really do wonder what happened. Another red flag that comes up to me is the fact that he became like his whole mood changed, and she couldn't even be like the light in his day to help him get out of it. And I'm not saying that our spouses are that person for us, but most of the time, once you get home, and I know he's working from home, but once you get into a comfortable space and you can relax for a little bit, most of the time it'll help your mood and you'll feel better. But for whatever reason, I wonder if he feels trapped.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like
that's what I feel like maybe he feels like he's trapped. He doesn't want, his wife controlling him. So I wonder really what happened at work. Did they tell him something like, they were like on his back about something, like you don't ever do anything right. You messed this up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then for him to say he wants to go to the store to get some clippers to cut his hair, and she said she didn't think that's a good idea. Yeah. That just kind of added on. So maybe he feels like he doesn't have control of his life, or there's so many people trying to tell him what to do. You know what I'm saying? Because like I know that like if I get to feeling that way, I will feel some kind of way too. Mm-hmm. But then like he basically said, "Go F yourself." That's what he told her. Mm-hmm. Get away from me. Like, do your own thing. And it makes me wonder if like, well, she said it never happened before. He doesn't do anything like this. But she said he was suicidal, and that's where like the biggest red flag jumped up for me, because just knowing that I know like they need to get him some help.
Yeah, big time. Which that was probably one of the reasons why she was so nervous. Right. Like if he had been suicidal before and you don't know where any of this is coming from, you're like, oh crud, like I don't need that. Yeah. And it's crazy because, sometimes like you were the road. I like the road that you were going down, that maybe he just literally felt trapped by everything. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times, I don't know, like when you hear people say like when they're depressed and stuff like that it feels like it's a weight like over them. Like, right. You know what I mean? Right. Like it's not even it's not physically, but
like pressure. It's just pressure.
Yeah, it's a pressure, like a weight on you. And so I wonder if he was maybe just feeling that and then just, I got to get out of here. Mm-hmm. And they had the spare key, for her parents' house, and he snagged that and just went there. The good thing is that he didn't, she was able to find him, and that he didn't
do anything
crazy. Yeah. Or anything that would have her left alone. So that was pretty good. But, for me, I don't know. I think maybe we could talk about a couple of other things that maybe he could have done instead of going that far.
Well, I think, honestly, to me, he did the best he could. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, he did the best he could, because she said he works from home on Friday. As soon as he was done working, he went to sleep for 3 hours and wanted to spend the night alone. To me, that, like it sounds like whatever was going on, he wanted to avoid. I don't know. This is just me. He wanted to avoid getting
worse. Making it worse.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause my first thing to do when I'm upset is to go take a nap. Cause I'm like, I'm not any good, and I'm gonna lash out on the first person who comes my way and says the wrong thing. So, to me, it seemed like he did the right thing. But she said when he woke up, he wanted to spend the night alone. He was being very negative. And that wasn't a big deal. But the next day he seemed to perk up and was playing the video games for most of the day. Then during the evening, they spent some more time together, and his mood crashed. And he started acting very negative and critical, complaining about everything. So it just makes me like, and then after that, she said he wanted to go take a drive.
Right.
So to me, it seems like maybe, and I know that's hard to say, he wants to get out of the house because maybe
which it's crazy during this Rona era. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that's literally stuck at the house.
Right.
It was a point in time. Now I wasn't to these measures, right? And you weren't doing anything crazy as well. Mm-hmm. It was just, I was just tired of being in the house.
Right.
Right.
And it's a lot.
Like you're in the house, you work in the house, and then after you get off work, that was my whole thing. Like when people would ask, how am I doing? I'm just like, I'm good. It's just, I can't leave. Mm-hmm. So it'd be different if I was working from home, and then as soon as I left, oh yeah, we can go anywhere.
Right.
But it was a point in time where you were working from home and you still got to stay home because nothing is open. Right. And you got to leave. You got to stay at the house. So that was starting to wear down on me at one point in time. Now I didn't get to that, that point, but I could see how maybe having some rough days at work back to back, and then not being able to necessarily maybe go where you would normally go.
Right.
How that could just,
Yeah.
It'll
box you in and you feel like you can't escape.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like to me, up until that point, he did what he felt like would be the best thing to avoid getting into an argument or lashing out at his wife. Until, then he finally did start being negative and stuff. But like in this case, I just feel like, I don't know, men in general, to me, in my opinion, don't really know how to address their emotions. Mm-hmm. Like they don't know how to express them either. And so like they just hold it all in. And I feel like that is basically the end result of like this.
It can lead to that.
Right.
Yeah, I can see it. It's almost like you building that pressure pot and then eventually it's got to get out of there. The steam is going to just.
Right. And if it doesn't have anywhere to go, then
it can come out in other ways as well.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it before. Your body has a way of getting like these type of stress, mm-hmm. anger. It has a way of getting it out. And a lot of times it forms in cancers and tumors and things like that. But, other than that, it could lead to a darker path.
Yeah.
And I agree. Society over the years have made it, a thing for men to not express feelings. Feelings are a weaker trait.
Yeah. And for men especially. Yeah.
So, you're taught, you growing up, it's like, man, you don't cry. Men don't cry. Mm-hmm. And then you hear that so many times or whatever that even when it's something that is really painful for you, you try and hold it in. You try and keep it in. But, I think now though, these days, it actually is getting a little better.
It is.
Like people, especially in the Black community, they're talking more about counseling and, opening up to opening up feelings and things that you might not even know is mm-hmm. buried, and getting that stuff out of your life,
right?
So that you can move forward, because it will hold you back and hold you down. And I do think, these days they're talking about it a little bit more, but for sure, growing up, and even now, it's still a lot of people that they ain't talking about feelings, men.
No,
like no.
Mm-mm. No, the only thing I wish he had somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I think that's really and truly why I like being around older people, mm-hmm. because they not always, but they have seen a lot more things than I have. Yes. And so their experience allows them to, share with me like some insight on what I should do.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they'll just tell you like, it's not even as bad as you're thinking mm-hmm. it is. Or, they'll put me in the direction of what I should do. Like, hey, you do need to go get some help for this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know everything. They're in their 20s, and I can just imagine he probably feels like, she said he's 28. Mm-hmm. I can imagine he probably feels a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah. I mean, 28, they're married, coronavirus, the job situation, mm-hmm. maybe, those couple of days might have been bad days on him and the job, send him a message saying, hey, you're on the last strike.
Right.
Like it's certain things that, you never know, mm-hmm. but all those lanes can take you down like some
right.
deep places, man.
Yeah. So my advice would be definitely to find someone that you can talk to and confide in. Because it won't make it better, but at least then you can get it out.
Right.
Because I know, like, even just talking it out with somebody who has nothing to do with the situation, it just makes me feel better. Like, I just feel like I've told someone. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, then somebody will know, like, if Johnny goes missing, I did talk to him yesterday and he was not in a good mood. Mm-hmm. So, we need to keep eyes on him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
We need to pray for him.
Yeah, it's just another set of like support. Yeah, it's like support. So
yeah, hopefully that once everything calms down or goes down, then they can get that help and support that he needs to get better. and to deal with those feelings in a different way. You know, until you learn how, or until you know how, it's kind of hard to know what to do with your feelings or with how you're feeling and what to do next. You know what I mean? So hopefully he gets that done. But yeah, did you have anything else?
Yes.
Okay. I felt like you did. That's why I wanted to ask.
Let's see.
Because outside of that, we were heading out in this one.
All right. It wasn't a question, but it was something I saw on Instagram. It said, "Dear new wife, create goals with your spouse and celebrate your accomplishments from day one." What do you think about that? Create goals with your spouse and celebrate your accomplishments from day one. What do you think?
I think that's great. A lot of people, they always, you know, you hear people say set these goals from, you know, way far out, or 5, 10, 15, 20 years out. But the real success is when you can actually see them like come to fruition and you can check that box. So I'm a huge fan of that. Being able to celebrate accomplishment from day one. That's like, hey, you know, have a great honeymoon celebration. And y'all do. Oh, that's a check.
That's a check.
Have a great first meal. You know, breakfast.
Right.
Check. But then over the time, of course, there are other milestones that will get better. But, you know, a lot of people are probably laughing at those two that I just said. But it's those small things that start, and then it builds into the bigger stuff.
Right.
When you start trying to go for the big stuff up front, sometimes it can seem too far out, too big. And then you forget about it because you never reached it.
Yeah.
And then y'all grow apart type deal.
Right.
You know, so I love it.
Well, I always just think of that. Was it plant?
While she's thinking about
what is it? What's the saying?
I don't know.
Plan to.
Oh, if you fail, if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just what I was thinking about, because like even just setting a little goal like that, or have a great first meal together, that's something that most people would take so lightly.
Yeah.
But if you don't plan and be intentional with your relationship, then it could just fall by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you don't ever take time to build the relationship, then it won't grow.
Right. Yeah, you gotta nurture it.
Yes.
Cultivate all of that stuff. That's it rings true. And you know, it's like when you I was talking with a friend of mine earlier today when we were out golfing, and we were kind of on those lines. You know, it's a lot of the younger marriages right now. It's hard because I was telling him, I don't think we were necessarily meant to see into everybody's life. So like where we were golfing, there was this, you know, there's a hill with the huge houses on the hill and things. So I was like, you know, when you're here, you could just see that house and know, okay, yeah, that's a nice house, but you don't know the people, you don't know who lives in it. You might see someone going to get in the airport, but you don't know where they're going or how they live. You know, it's just, oh, okay, I saw that. Now, not only do you see the house on the hill, but they're showing you the inside. They're showing you how they live. You see them go to the trip, and you see them in Bali or wherever they are and enjoying the time. But what is that? You know, if you're not grounded in something, it can stir up discontent and all of this stuff that now you're looking at, like you said, that new marriage. Well, I was on this millennial bridal honeymoon page, and all these people are going everywhere on their honeymoon, and we are here at the house, and we're not gonna be able to go anywhere for a whole month or whatever, and we're not gonna go anywhere but 2 states over. Well, you'll discredit what y'all are able to do because you were seeing somebody else's stuff. Right. You know what I mean? And so it's tough, but yeah, I think that's why if you can set those goals and then check them off together.
Set them small at first.
Yeah.
Set them pretty small.
But y'all will grow together.
Right.
No, I like it.
Yeah. Make SMART goals. That's what they call them in school. A SMART goal. I can't remember what. Specific, measurable, attainable, reasonable, and timely.
I like them.
Yeah. Got to set a SMART goal.
Oh, that's good.
All right. Last one. What's one thing you would like others to see or recognize in your marriage?
I think they do. But I guess just to continue to recognize our intentionality in doing it right.
Yeah.
And letting people see that it's like you can have a great marriage that's not over the, like, you know what I mean? Like we're good at being great together.
Yeah. I think mine was literally along the same lines. Like mine is more like how happy we are doing it our way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's like, I mean, relationship goals, like we've already talked about, has messed up people's views of what marriage looks like. And so like when they don't see us doing certain things, they're like, I don't know, I don't want to be married like y'all. Y'all old because y'all don't be doing nothing. But we're happy with what the stuff that we do. We're content with the way that it works for us.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to work on like stamina in our marriage and not. It's not a sprint.
You don't want to be the sprinter.
Yes.
The sprinter does not do what the long distance runner do.
Right. We're working on the long distance. If the sprinter ran
that fast, he wouldn't make it in the 4x4.
Right.
You know? So yeah, if we taking that, jogging the curves and sprinting the straights.
Yeah.
I think that's how it is.
It might be that
y'all
way.
Track stars out there, let me know if I got it right. That was in 8th grade for me. I didn't like track.
But yeah, no, that's for real though. Like we're trying to make sure that this thing lasts because like we haven't traveled to too many places yet, and it's coming. But we didn't jump like straight out the gate and start going everywhere and spending money and buying up stuff.
Yeah, because ultimately that's not what it was all about.
Right.
And, today you could easily fall into that trap. So it's cool to maybe get married and do that stuff. Like that's all you're thinking about when ultimately that's not what it's about.
Right.
And so if you make it about that, then when that stuff dries up or when that stuff goes away, now you don't like that person anymore.
Right.
Because it wasn't about them in the beginning.
You boring at home. When we was out in, I don't know, Mexico, you was the life of the party.
Yeah.
But at home, ugh.
Man. But see, if you build it on y'all's relationship and growing together, like loving each other and growing, then when y'all come back from the trip, it's just as good as when y'all left. If you're stuck in the house, like during the coronavirus, you're not about to rip each other hair out.
Right.
And get the divorce or whatever because y'all have done this. It wasn't just about the trips and things like that in the first place. So, yeah.
Well, that's all I have for today. And those are all the questions we have from our inner circle.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening to the How Do You Love Me podcast. If you're new here, we would really appreciate it if you could go on to all of our streaming platforms and leave a review. We thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review like we just said. And we would love to hear from you if you have any ideas for topics for our podcast. You guys can send us an email at HDYLoveme@gmail.com, or you can just DM us on Instagram at HDYLM_podcast. And if that's just too much work, leave us a voicemail at 682-231-0848. And if you want to see what's going on over here on the website, go to HDYLM.com.
That's it. And remember, it's always grand gratitude over here. That's high thinking, strong faith, simple living, smart work. All right. That being said, peace.
Bye.